Let's take a look at how to create a submission for a project that you've created. So if I do a File, New, and Project, now I have Visual C Sharp currently expanded. If I collapse that, then I'll bring up Visual Basic here. If you click Visual Basic here, it brings it up all at once. I'm going to choose Windows Format, but you can choose these different options here to see different types. Okay, so now I'm going to leave that as Windows App 1. This should be a meaningful name corresponding to whatever project you're working on. Do not leave it as the default Windows App 1. For example, this is maybe it's project 1.1. Now notice I put underscores there. I just tend to get in the habit in programming to never put spaces. Spaces work in many applications, but not all of them. Okay, now choose Browse and choose this folder here. Make sure you have a specific folder where you save all of your projects. And then I'll click OK. And it'll go through and create the different project files. Okay. Not a very exciting project. We just got a form. Now I can run it by clicking this Start, or there's a debug, start debugging here. You see there's an F5 also. Okay, so if I run that, it goes through, builds everything. It says build started. My two little puppy dogs got a new toy, so if you hear that in the background, then that's what that is. And taking a little bit here. Come think of it, I probably should have disabled my antivirus, but yeah, okay, it's fine. It'll eventually get there. Okay, so now it's created the particular application. Now I'll close that. Not too exciting. If I save that, you see there's a save all right here. Now let me close it. So do File, Close Solution. Make sure you choose Close Solution. I'll close all of your files. Now if I come over here in the folder where I have it, I see there's a folder called Project 1 Project _1_1. If I double click that, there's an SLN file. This is kind of the main file that tells where everything's located at. If I double click that, I see a bunch of different files. Here you don't really need to know what all these different ones are at this point. Bin and debug, I'm just double clicking those. You see here's the exe, and I could actually double click on that and run it. But to submit the project, and a lot of students make this mistake, is you want to be back at your main folder. You don't want to be here, but back at your main folder. And from here, you're going to zip this up. I'm going to right click on it, and depending upon your version of Windows, you'll have different options here. You see there's a send to compressed zip folder. So that's how I would create a zip file. So I choose that option, comes up with that name, that's fine. I'll press enter. This is what you will turn in. Every semester I have people will turn in just the SLN file, or they'll zip up this folder. And that's not correct because it doesn't have the SLN. In order for it to be graded properly, you have to be back here at this main folder. Okay, so now at this point I can submit this, and that's what it would be turning in for the particular project. Now, if you don't see the zip on here at the end, if you go up here to your view, and if you don't see a view option up there, depending upon your version of Windows, you press your Alt key, and you'll see it appear. See, there's a view options. Now here is a bunch of different options you can go to. And if I choose view here, the view tab, you see there's a hide extensions for known file types. By default, this is usually selected. So I click OK. At this point, all you see is project 1.1 and project 1.1. They look like almost the same file, except for if you look at the type, it says different. So again, if I go back to view, go to options and view, then you want to unselect this. As a computer science student, you do not want to hide your extensions. You want to know what in the world you're working with. And then I'll click OK, and you see, then you can see the zip. Now this Windows 10 here also has different options over here. See file name extensions. That's a quick way for you to choose that. That does not exist in every version of Windows. So the way I showed you, I think I have seen in every version of Windows in some form. Okay, so then that tells you exactly what these files are. Now you might say, well, I can look at the type over here. Yeah, but it's easier just to be able to say, okay, that's a zip file, and you know what a zip file represents. It's a file that consists of a bunch of files that's been brought in and a lot of times compressed and put into one file. Now you could copy this to a different folder and then unzip it. Now how you'd unzip it, let's say I didn't have this folder here. I'll delete that. If I right click on this and choose extract all, and then it'll say, what do you want extracted at? And that's fine. Extract it there. Then that'll create this folder, and of course it looks like it has double there. Now if I double click the SLN from here, it'll load it up in our Visual Studio. Or I could come over here and do a file open project, and at this point drill down to where I see the SLN file. That's why it's important to be able to see that. It's an easy view versus not seeing all of the description over here. And that's what I open. Now at this point you're saying, well, I don't see anything. Well, that's over here in the Solution Explorer is where you'd see the file. And if I double click form1.vb, see we're back where we were. But that's for a different video. That's how to create a file that will be submitted.